going down. Riding through my city in my hometown. I do everything all on my own now. I'm on now. Maybe I've been feeling alright, yeah. Someone lit a fire, I'm ignited. I can show you how amazing life can be. Put all of your problems to the side with me. Maybe I've been feeling alright, yeah. Someone lit a fire, I'm ignited. You've been stressing over it the whole day. I can reassure you that it's okay. Maybe I've been feeling alright, yeah. Someone lit a fire, I'm ignited. I can show you how amazing life can be. Singing every song that you recite to me. Maybe I've been feeling alright, yeah. Someone lit a fire, I'm ignited. You've been stressing over it the whole day. I can reassure you that it's okay.
Not in the camera. What's up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Chris, back with another Nerds at 9. Now, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we can go many different routes with it. You know, the Super Bowl just ended. There's always going to be a million storylines coming out of that. NBA, I know we talked about the big trade last week. Neither of those guys has even played for their teams yet, but I am going to get into my top 5 NBA storylines right now. And so definitely going to talk about that a little bit. I did want to just talk briefly about the NFL. I was going to go through some of the teams that I think need to go after a quarterback this offseason. You know, figure out who's the face of the franchise. Obviously, some teams, you know, are in different situations and positions. So I'll get through all that. Other than that, I wanted to mention I've gotten a lot of backlash, you know, when I said that Matt Stafford is right now a borderline Hall of Famer based on, you know, what he's done in his career. I seen even Richard Sherman, obviously wasn't talking directly to me, but, you know, he was responding to other people that were saying Matt Stafford's a Hall of Famer. And he was pretty strong in, you know, his denial of that. He said that, you know, no all-pro selections, only one Pro Bowl. He's just he just benefited from playing in a passing era. So, I mean, there is some truth to that, I would say, you know, in terms of his stats. Like, he's in 12th place right now for most passing yards all time. Like, obviously, I don't think he's the 12th best quarterback ever. So, I mean, I would say there's some truth to that. But, hey, I mean, you know, you're not getting selected to all-pro teams as a starting quarterback of the Detroit Lions. Like, I don't care how good you are, or, you know, maybe you could have been in some more Pro Bowls, but, like, I never really judge people off of how many Pro Bowls they made or anything like that, you know. So, hey, the Pro Bowl is a big popularity contest, especially at some positions. Hey, it is what it is. I think Matt Stafford, you know, only being 34 years old, he's still got some years left in him. Who's to say the Rams can't get back and win another Super Bowl? Or who's to say he doesn't throw for another, you know, 15, 20,000 yards on there, you know, getting him up in the top 5 even. You know, he could end up as top 5 in passing yards and touchdowns with the Super Bowl ring. I know he didn't win the Super Bowl MVP, but, hey, I think that's good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. Like I said yesterday, you can let me know if you disagree, but that's where I'm at with it. I think when it's all said and done, Matt Stafford will make the Hall of Fame. And this is the first time I believe that ever. So, yeah, take it however you want to take it. I mean, Hall of Fame is very subjective. There's not really any set criteria to make it in. So, we shall see. You know, we'll find out probably in the next 10 years. So, stick around. But yeah, other than that, just sticking on the NFL for a second here, I got a list here of, I should have numbered it. Let me number it. Let me see. I got 14 teams that I think need to go after a quarterback this year. So, obviously, there's 32 teams in the NFL. 14, that's almost half. You know, 18 would be half, or 16 would be half. So, that's pretty much half the teams in the league. You know, they got to do something. For different reasons, too. I'm not going to spend, you know, too much time on any one team, but I'll just give my reasons. The Dolphins, number 1. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that one, but I've seen what I need to see. You know, I haven't really seen any flashes that show me that Tua is going to be a a franchise quarterback in this league. And, hey, I think they can still get something pretty decent for him. I would try to move Tua if I'm in a position to get a quarterback of any relevance, a veteran starter, or, getting a guy in the first round or something. I think I would be willing to move off Tua right now. So I know that one's not going to be very popular, but, yeah, it is what it is. Steelers, number 2, obviously they need a quarterback. Big Ben just retired, so, I don't think anybody's banging the drum for Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins there. So definitely need one in Pittsburgh. The Houston Texans, now this one's kind of weird to me because they have a quarterback, Deshaun Watson, but we know the situation. He doesn't want to be there. He's got some allegations against him. I'm not going to get into all that now, but I don't think that Watson, ever ends up playing for them again. So they need a quarterback. I will say Davis Mills was solid this year. I do kind of want to see a little bit more from him, but I'm not thinking that he's going to turn into a great quarterback or anything. So, yeah. Colts. I did want to talk about them a little bit. There's some news that either Carson Wentz is either going to be traded or released this offseason, which is crazy. They just gave up a first-round pick for him this past season, to the Eagles. So, yeah, Carson Wentz looks to be out of there. I couldn't really tell you who the backup is, honestly, and, they need a guy. They do. They have a good football team, pretty solid defense. Jonathan Taylor is one of the best running backs in the league. I think some of the weapons they have, Michael Pittman, a couple of these other guys, Paris Campbell. Yeah, I think they got a couple guys. They just need a quarterback. The Titans. Another one, this one might be a little controversial. I know Ryan Tannehill is not the worst quarterback in the world. I'd say he's about an average guy. But this team's a good team. They have a good defense. They have potentially the best running back in the league. They have A.J. Brown, up-and-coming star, to go along with Julio Jones. They need that quarterback now. Their windows in the NFL to win, they don't stay open very long. This might have been their best chance being the number 1 seed this year, and Ryan Tannehill just completely blew it in the playoff game. So that might be, we might have seen the best of Ryan Tannehill, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think the Titans could use one. Oh, my bad. I was neglecting the comments a little bit. My guy, Andres, he said Lamar made it over Josh Allen this year. That's how you know the Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. So, yeah, that goes directly with what I was saying, with my point about Matt Stafford. Obviously, you're not going to be the most popular guy on the Lions. So, yeah, it is a popularity contest for sure. And then, but getting back to these teams that need quarterback, the last time I talked about the Titans, Andres also saying Rodgers to Tennessee. That could be interesting. Definitely would be the quarterback that they need to get over the hump. And then, like I said, they have good defense. Their coach won Coach of the Year this year. Obviously, still securing the first seed in the AFC without Derrick Henry. So, yeah, that would be crazy. Another team sticking in the AFC here, the Broncos. Now, Aaron Rodgers has been linked there a lot. They actually just hired the Packers offensive coordinator as their new head coach. So, yeah, they could use Aaron Rodgers or any other quarterback for that matter. Teddy Bridgewater, I like him. He's a good guy. I just don't think he's going to cut in this league. And Drew Lock's definitely not going to cut it. So, Broncos need one. The Giants. Now, this one's interesting to me because I've heard reports that they want to stick with Daniel Jones for this season. And personally, I think that's a mistake. Daniel Jones hasn't shown me anything, along with some of the other guys that I've said on this list. Daniel Jones has shown nothing to prove that he deserves another opportunity. He's been starting for 3 years now. Haven't really got much out of it. I think it was a wasted pick. I think, nobody wants to say, we made a mistake. This pick wasn't good. But, yeah, I think he's got to go. We'll see, though. As a Commanders fan, I hope that he does stay as the quarterback, because good for us. But, yeah, my team, the Commanders, is the next team on my list, too. We definitely need a quarterback. We've talked about that enough on here. I'm not even going to get into that. But, yeah, the guys we have just aren't going to cut it. The Lions, yeah, Jared Goff, he's not going to cut it. They're not in a big rush, though, because, they don't really have the team around him to really make it matter anyways. We saw they had a quarterback with Matt Stafford, and we saw how that went for them. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing over there. Last few here, the Carolina Panthers, we saw what happened. Sam Darnold, Cam Newton, P.J. Walker, all these guys. None of those are starting quarterbacks in the NFL in 2022. Saints, Jameis Winston's a free agent. I think Jameis was decent, but even then, going from Drew Brees, they're gonna be looking for a guy at some point here. I think they bring back Jameis though, but we shall see. I mean, they definitely gotta do something. Taysom Hill, he's not a full-time quarterback. Last team, the Tampa Bay Bucks, a surprise team. Now, I mean, it's not a surprise anymore, but going into the season, people assume Tom Brady would definitely be playing next year. So without Tom Brady, they're gonna need somebody. I don't really trust Kyle Trask, who they picked a couple years back, or last year, I think, but I don't trust him. And then the last two, I'm going to group them together because I kind of put them as maybe. It just kind of depends what you think about these guys. But the Falcons and the Vikings, for sure. In my opinion, if I were them, I'd be looking for the next guy in line. Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, these guys are still under contract. And they're not bad options. So that's why I say, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking at this Falcons team and saying that, we can compete, maybe win the Super Bowl right now, then I'll keep Matt Ryan, but I just don't think that's the case. So, if anything, he's just going to help them win games for no reason right now. I mean, I'm not saying they should just, blatantly tank or anything, but, for both of them, Matt Ryan, maybe he can go to a team and try to win something. And, for the Falcons, they can start the rebuild. Maybe they can get that draft pick and get their quarterback that they want. Same with the Vikings. Solid team, not Super Bowl contenders. I think the defense was a lot better, in the previous years. Not so much these last couple years. Kirk Cousins, obviously, we know what he is. He played on my team for a long time, but he's a guy. I think I'm not going to say he's below average, but he's just, an average quarterback. So you can win with him. Maybe not win it all, but yeah, he's not. You can do worse, is what I'm saying. So, if they don't have a better option, they can just stick with Kirk. But I think it's, it's time. They need to start looking. So, yeah, you can let me know which teams I missed out. There was a few that were kind of borderline, but, I think they should just stick with the option they have. Also let me know if any of these teams you think, they got a quarterback already. If you think Dolphins already got Tua, and you think he's going to be that guy, please let me know. I want to hear why, because I don't dislike. Really, I'm not rooting against anyone. This is just what I think, what I would do if I was running some of these teams. But we'll see what happens. These last few seasons, teams have been a lot more, willing to change quarterbacks and go all in and try to win the championship. It's worked out for the last two Super Bowl champs. So maybe even more teams start doing that. But yeah, other than that, I did kind of want to talk about my top storylines from the NBA, but I think I'm going to save a couple of these. I didn't realize I would talk so much about the NFL, but, it's on the brain right now. Super Bowl just happened. It is what it is. I do want to talk about, just right now, the Memphis Grizzlies. That was the big question for me I have right now. And I've really been trying to watch them as much as I can, but are they really seriously championship contenders? That's the real question here. Right now, they're third in the West. Oh, I thought I had the standings up here. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, they are third in the West, though. I know that for a fact. But, they got obviously led by Ja Morant. They're 40-18 this year. So, that's incredible to me. Like I said, Ja Morant leading them, 26 points right now, 26.4 points, 6.8 assists, 5.9 rebounds, 49% from the field. 34% from three, so I guess I can go up a little bit. I mean, I can definitely go up, but what he's doing is incredible in my opinion. He's taken a huge jump from last year, from 19 points to 26. The assists are a little bit down, but I just think that's because they have a lot of good players. So the ball, it moves around. You know, they got 5 guys averaging double digits. Desmond Bain. If you guys haven't heard of Desmond Bain, I think this playoffs, a lot of more people are going to know about Desmond Bain. I picked him in fantasy, so that's why I've been kind of following him all season. But he's definitely going to be in the conversation for most improved player, averaging 17.8 points a game right now, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. That, like, those are good numbers for anybody, but especially for a guy that, you know, nobody really expected much from him. He's playing solid defense, shooting 41.5% from three. This team is good, man. They got Dylan Brooks, who's been injured for a lot of the season. He's their second leading scorer, probably their best perimeter defender as well. Jaren Jackson's on the team in the front court. Brandon Clark has given them solid minutes. I know Steven Adams is the team's leading rebounder, just a solid inside presence in there. Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. These guys are kind of loaded. So, do I think that they should be the favorites in the West right now? Maybe not. But I will say that if Steph Curry can't get it together, you know, I don't think the Suns are, like, unbeatable. So, other than those two teams, I mean, the Grizzlies are right there. And don't sleep on the Memphis Grizzlies. I should have pulled up the betting lines here because they probably have some pretty solid odds you could take for them to reach the finals. And right now, I think I would take it. You know, this is usually how it goes with great players and all-time great players. And I'm not saying that Ja is going to be an all-time great. Like, he could. He definitely could. But, you know, if he is going to be all-time great, it's going to take some kind of jump like this at some point. Something that you're not expecting, where he exceeds expectations. So, I mean, you know, right now they're probably expected to win a playoff game, but they're not expected to go all the way to the finals. So, hey, this could be the start of, you know, us seeing Ja Morant as an all-time great. So, shout out to the Grizzlies. You know, I think they're legit. I think, you know, I'm gonna make some predictions later on in the week because that was one of the things I wanted to do is talk about, you know, who I think is gonna be in the finals. I saved that for a later date, but you know, Grizzlies, they might be in there. That's all I'm gonna say. They might be in there. But yeah, I mean, other than that, oh, got some weird comments going on. Go ahead and remove that. Oh yeah, okay, this is a good point too. I will include this before I get out of here. Andres, my guy, is coming in hot tonight. I appreciate it. Keep the conversation going here. But he said, notice how all the teams that sold all their young players to create a, quote, championship team or a super team have failed. He says super teams are a thing of the past. Now, I mean, look, I don't know, you know, if super teams are a thing of the past. I think, you know, obviously everybody's going to always try to get the best players possible for their team. So, I mean, there's going to be teams with superstars, especially now as players have more power, they're going to look to play together. So, I'm not sure that, you know, super teams are a thing of the past. We'll see about that. But I do agree, you know, right now, all the teams that are selling out for these superstar players, it's not turning out good. You know, start with the Nets selling all that to get James Harden. You know, if they didn't do that, they'd still have Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, who another guy criminally underrated. Jared Allen, if you don't know who this guy is, you know, turn on the Cavs. He's a big reason that they're a top seed in the East right now. He's a pretty dominant force inside. So that's one, definitely didn't work out. Obviously the Lakers, that was one of the storylines I was going to get to too, but they're not doing good. Russell Westbrook with AD and LeBron, it's not working out at all. And then you got teams, like the Grizzlies, the Suns, the Warriors. Who else is up there in the standings? The Heat, even the Bulls. I know they have some stars, but I don't think anybody would say they're a super team. The Cavs, the Bucks, like these are the teams up at the top of the standing. So I guess you're right about that. So hey, maybe they shouldn't sell out for the superstars. We'll see how that trade works out again, like I mentioned with the Nets and the 76ers. But yeah, it is what it is. I've gone a little longer than I wanted to. So, if you've made it this long, thanks for vibing with me tonight. Obviously, chime in the comment section. Let me know where I'm wrong. Let me know if you agree about some things. Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. Let me know what I should talk about next. Other than that, shout out to Recreation. I pointed the right way this time. But shout out to Recreation. You guys see the music. Got the good vibes going. Yeah, that's it. So keep nerding up, and I'm out. Peace.